Today I'm going to do some inking demonstration for you. If you have any questions, comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'm also on Patreon. If you haven't done so already, go over there and check it out. Please support. Here we go. Look at this. This is nice. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Walden Wong Inks. Today I'm going to talk about using a flex curve. Usually when I use a flex curve, I have two different ones. A small one, which I bend a lot into smaller shapes, and then a large one that I bend slightly. So without further ado, watch me use flex curves. Marvel Panini with Spider-Man, and then a villain that has a long tail. So for me to ink that long tail, I'm going to use this flex curve right over here. This flex curve has a beveled edge, which is perfect for inking. It has measurements on the flex curve, but I don't really worry about the measurements. I'm more concerned about using the curve to make long, curved, perfectly arced lines. So right now, I'm trying to find the shape of the pencils, lining it up, moving it, the flex curve every to the left or to the right to make sure it follows the pencils of the curve. And then I'll use my left arm to hold the flex curve down, and then my left hand on the top to hold it in place. So just like that, on my left arm, I'm using my arm to hold it down, and then I'm using my hand to hold it in place. Because again, it's an 18-inch flex curve, and this is the only way that I can hold 2 points while inking with my right hand. So again, I'm adjusting it more, make sure it's the right curve. Sometimes the penciler doesn't draw a perfect curve, so with this flex curve, I can bend it to how his curve is like. And then I'll go up there and I'll ink one line all the way across. Just like that. Now, when you ink that line, you try not to put too much pressure on the flex curve, because any movement, you can adjust and shift that flex curve a little and you'll throw everything off. So I'm lightly gliding the Rapidograph pin across, and then I'll go back and move the curve a little bit. This way I'll give it some line weight, so you're not having a flat dead line. And then immediately after I ink the bottom of the tail, I'm going to shift the curve over to ink the top of the tail. Right over here. It's best to do this when you have that curve, so it's easier to find that curve a little bit better. You don't have to do that many adjusting. So right here, just a slight more adjustment to match what the penciler drew down in pencils originally. And then when I'm happy with that, I'm gonna hold it down. So right here, just a little bit more adjustment, and then I'll ink the top line and I'll move back to create that line weight. Just like that. And then I'll work on the bottom part. I'll ink that line. Just like that, and I move back to create a line weight. Now, as I'm creating a line weight, I'm pivoting the Rapidograph pin. You can go back and check out the video how I'll ink a line and I'll pivot it a little bit to have a different line weight on the Rapidograph pin. So there, just like that, I've inked both lines for the tail of this character. Now, on the back side, there's another long arc, so I'm adjusting this flex curve again. It's hard to hold the top and the bottom at the same time. So I'm using the bottom of my left arm to hold the bottom, and my hand to hold the top of the curve. This is the best way, the only way. Okay, so I'll ink that line, I'll go back and I'll build upon that line weight. And notice how I pivot the Rapidograph. Okay, that's one way to make a line thicker without having to move your flex curve. This also goes for using a ruler or templates and circles. Now here I'm using a smaller flex curve. This one is only 12 inches long. With this one, I can hold it with one hand, and I can bend it to a more extreme curve. Now I can also bend the one on the right, the longer one, to a more extreme one, but keep in mind, these flex curves are made with a little metal wire inside. If you bend it a lot, it'll snap and it'll break inside, so you're not going to have that smooth curve anymore. Like this blue one, if you notice, near my pointing finger, my left hand pointing finger, there's a little arc over there because inside the wire is broken. So I just use this one to ink smaller curves, and then I'll use a long one to ink longer curves. Right here, I'll use that broken arc right over there. You see how it's broken? So right here, I'm using that, taking advantage of that broken arc, and I'll ink that line following the bottom of the character's tail. Just like this. So these are the two flex curves that I've used, one a longer one and then a smaller one. it's best to have two, so if one breaks, you'll have another one. And then right here on panel 2, we have that character's tail again, and then I'm gonna ink some of the curves right over here. I'll ink that one line, go back, I'll pivot a little bit, and I'll create the line weight using the flex curve, just like that. Okay, and then on the back, I'm gonna use a French curve. This plastic item I'm using is called a French curve. The French curve, supposedly you should be able to find every curve using this French curve. Some curves, when it's longer and you can't find it, I'll use a flex curve. Flex curve is much easier because I can bend it to shape. Flex curve, you're gonna have to use this French curve a while before you understand all the different angles that you can create, all the different curves. And there you have it, all the different curves. Thanks for watching this episode of Walden Wong Inks. If you have any questions, comment down below. Any questions about using a flex curve, how to use it, any questions, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, have a good time playing with the flex curve.